You read the books, you underline the sentences, you meditate, visualize, journal, and reset your mind, trying to pull the right reality into existence. Yet, at a certain point, the effort to change your life starts to feel heavier than the life you're trying to change. The tools meant to bring peace start creating a deep, heavy exhaustion. That's because the practice itself often turns into a test. Visualization becomes a high-stakes performance. Affirmations become pressure. The mind turns healing into another place where you aren't calm enough, clear enough, or evolved enough. Beneath all that spiritual effort, the nervous system is still clenched tight. We aren't actually healing. We are just using a new language to micromanage every moving piece, terrified of what happens if we let reality unfold on its own. This creates a state of spiritual performance anxiety. In this state, an ordinary bad mood transforms into a dangerous energetic failure, and a single anxious thought becomes a threat that could ruin your entire future timeline. You might be speaking the words of abundance, but biologically, the body is bracing for impact. The nervous system is actively scanning for signs of disappointment, using your meditation practice as a covert way to monitor for danger. You aren't living in the reality of your fulfilled desire. You are living in the reality of someone frantically trying to force that desire to happen. The emotional center of the practice is still lack. When inner transformation becomes a desperate strategy to outrun the rawness of being human, the result is not freedom. It is a private prison built entirely out of your own requirements for feeling safe. There is a vast biological difference between a clean desire and a desperate need. A clean want has breath and movement in it. A need contracts around a specific outcome and screams, "I cannot survive unless this happens." And repeating positive affirmations over a screaming nervous system rarely works. Neuroscience describes the brain as an active prediction system. It doesn't wait for reality to arrive, it uses past experience to guess what is happening right now, filtering incoming signals through old assumptions. This process, called predictive processing, means the brain will often block out actual evidence of safety if it contradicts a deeply held belief. It only lets in the data that confirms its own panic. So when you try to manifest from fear, you trap yourself. You force the brain to biologically rehearse the exact feeling of lack you are trying so hard to escape. Psychology labels this trap experiential avoidance, the chronic attempt to escape, suppress, or get rid of any unwanted internal feeling, even if avoiding it shrinks your life. We can see how this multiplies our suffering through the Buddhist parable of the two arrows. The first arrow strikes, causing the initial wound. Then, almost instantly, a second, much larger arrow hits the exact same spot. The first arrow is the raw, unavoidable pain of being alive, a rejection, an illness, a loss. But the second arrow is self-inflicted. It's the shame, the panic, and the looping story the mind creates to dodge the first. The vast majority of our exhaustion does not come from reality itself. It comes from the massive energetic friction generated by fighting the fact that reality exists. The philosopher Alan Watts pointed out exactly how we weaponize our focus against ourselves. He called it spotlight attention. Spotlight attention isolates fragments of the world. It narrows your gaze to hyperfixate on a single threat, a perceived flaw, or a delayed outcome, filtering out the wider field of existence entirely. When the mind stares at a problem long enough, the problem becomes the entire world. This intense, narrowed focus actively trains your nervous system to perceive the environment as universally hostile. We think we are just observing the facts. In truth, our fearful focus is actively constructing a cage made entirely of evidence that confirms our own panic. This is why surrender is so often misunderstood. It sounds like waving a white flag, giving up your agency, or enduring harm passively. But true surrender is not about resignation. As author Michael Singer frames it, true surrender is simply dropping the rope in your exhausting private tug-of-war against the immovable present moment. The moment you stop fighting the fact that a problem exists, an immediate physiological shift occurs. The external issue remains, but the massive energy you spent resisting it is suddenly freed up for actual, clear response. You move from the spotlight into floodlight attention. The lens expands. The source of pain is still visible, but it no longer occupies the entire room. You finally notice the breath in your lungs, your available options, and the wider world alongside the difficulty. Radical acceptance doesn't erase the wound. It simply changes the size of the room in which the wound is held. Letting go does not mean you stop caring. True agency means you can still want things deeply and work toward them faithfully without holding your own peace hostage to the outcome. You do not have to become perfectly fearless, entirely healed, or completely enlightened before grace can reach you or life can open up. The profound irony of manifestation is that real transformation often arrives in the exact moment we stop demanding that reality prove we are safe. Sometimes the life you are desperately trying to build only begins to materialize when you finally stop pushing the door. Exhale and let your hand open.
Thank you for watching. If something in this resonated with you, then you're already closer than you think. If you're ready to go deeper, there's a link below to my book, Quantum Surrender: How Letting Go Changes the Reality You Live in. This isn't theory. It's a framework you can actually use. Tap the link below and step into it.